What you're about to see in today's episode is strange. Really strange. We've got cryptids, eerie encounters, and moments so unsettling they'll stick with you long after the episode ends. My name's Steve. This is Classified Captures. Now, let's slow it down and take a closer look at this clip because, well, once you see it, there's no unseeing it. Someone in Mexico recently shared this piece of footage and it's been causing quite a stir online. The video shows a dark figure clinging to the side of a tree at night. At first glance, it could be mistaken for a large cat, but when you look closely at the size and proportions, that explanation starts to fall apart. Some paranormal enthusiasts believe this could be a werewolf or a demonic entity. Others say it resembles a four-legged creature, but the stance is unusual. The shoulders appear higher and broader than any typical animal in the region, and the way it holds onto the sides of the trees, perfectly balanced and seemingly without effort, is unlike anything we see in nature. The footage only reveals the creature's silhouette, with two bright glowing eyes that stand out against the darkness. That makes it difficult to determine exactly what it is, but the sight alone is enough to send chills down your spine. From what you can see, does this look like a normal animal to you or something far stranger? Some women were left deeply unsettled after receiving an unexpected late-night visit from a pair of door-to-door missionaries. Now, first of all, these kinds of missionaries don't normally knock on doors between 8 and 9 p.m., so that was suspicious enough on its own. But the real shock came later when the homeowner reviewed the security cam footage. On the camera positioned near the driveway, the two missionaries appeared completely normal. One wearing a red skirt with a black tucked-in top, the other in a black dress. But as they approached the front porch, something strange happened. On the next camera angle at the front door, their outfits had changed completely. Now both women were wearing polka dot dresses, one pink, the other lavender, as if they'd instantly switched clothing in the space of just a few steps. The women reviewing the footage couldn't believe their eyes. How could two people's outfits change mid-walk without stopping, without carrying anything, and without anyone noticing? Is this a glitch? Share your thoughts.
It is freaking creepy. 8:41, somebody knocks on the door, and then, hold on. Check out their outfits.
They're wearing two different dresses from what they were wearing.
Is nothing compared to what they were wearing.
And we saw them. It had polka dots. It had the dresses from
go
the...
Go back to the other one.
We literally just saw them and they were wearing...
And, go fast forward, it changes color. Watch, go fast
right
forward.
As soon as they get over there, out of our porch.
What the heck is this?
A couple had rented a cabin in a remote area to spend the weekend away from the city. They arrived late at night, driving slowly up the narrow road that led to their destination. The place was already giving them an uneasy feeling. As they approached the cabin, they decided to take a random photograph of the road ahead just to capture how creepy the place felt. Hours later, while scrolling through their pictures, they noticed something that made their stomachs drop. On the right side of the road, half hidden in the shadow, stood a pale white figure. It looked like a woman in a long dress holding something close to her chest, something that appeared to be like a swaddled baby. The figure's head was tilted slightly downward as if cradling the bundle in an eerie, almost lifeless way. The couple were deeply unsettled by this sight, given how strange and ominous the area felt from the very start. They could not shake the feeling that this was not a trick of the light or a camera glitch. To them, it seemed far more likely that they'd captured some kind of entity lurking in the darkness, perhaps that had been watching them as they drove past. Take a look at this disturbing footage from South Africa. A little girl was running through the park, laughing and playing with the other children, when suddenly something yanked the back of her dress hard enough to startle her. Eerily, there was no one behind her who could have caused it. Some skeptics have suggested it could have been staged, perhaps with a hidden fishing line, but when you watch closely, there is no sign of a line. So what could have done it? The wind, a bug, or a bird we can't see, or something else entirely? A lot of people now rely heavily on ChatGPT. While it's undeniable that artificial intelligence is slowly becoming part of our everyday lives, some are taking that trust to dangerous extremes. One man recently learned this the hard way. He followed advice he'd gotten from ChatGPT and decided to use sodium bromide in place of regular table salt. What he didn't realize was that sodium bromide is not meant for consumption. It's a toxic compound. Shortly after using it in his food, he began to feel extremely ill and was rushed to hospital. Doctors diagnosed him with a rare and serious condition known as bromism, which occurs when the body has high levels of bromide in the system. Symptoms can include headaches, confusion, slurred speech, and even seizures. In severe cases, it can be life-threatening. AI can be helpful, but it's not infallible. Always double-check information, especially when it comes to health, safety, or anything you put into your body. Blindly following advice without verification can have dangerous, even deadly consequences. Conspiracy theorists think AI isn't at all innocent, and that somehow it decided to toy with the man. Not sure what to think about that one, but always double-check your facts before using AI, okay? A woman was out in the park at night with her child when she decided to take a photo. At first, it seemed like nothing unusual, just a simple picture of her little one enjoying the evening. But when she looked at the image later, something in the background caught her attention. On the right side of the photo, behind the child, there appeared to be another small figure. It looked as though it could be another child crouched down low, almost hiding in the shadows. The posture seemed strange, almost unnatural, but at first glance, it could easily have been mistaken for an ordinary kid. However, when the image was zoomed in, the truth became far more disturbing. This was not a child at all. The woman, shaken by what she saw, and said that there had been no one else nearby when she took the picture. Whatever it was, it had been too close, and it had gone completely unnoticed until the photo revealed it. At Fort Myers Beach in Florida, something strange happened that has UFO enthusiasts buzzing. A woman who lives not too far from the area decided to set up her surveillance camera facing the sky. She'd hoped to capture something unusual, maybe even proof of UFO activity. And according to her, she did exactly that. The footage was recorded late at night. The weather looked stormy with lightning flashing across the sky. For a few moments, it seemed like just another tropical storm, but right after one of the lightning strikes faded, something unexpected appeared. High in the sky, a formation of glowing orbs became visible. They seemed to outline the curved perimeter of a much larger object that could only have been seen because the lights gave away its shape. Only one section of the object was visible in the frame, but the arrangement of the orbs made it look deliberate. The woman believes she captured a UFO hidden in the clouds. Skeptics say it could be a trick of the light, but others think this might be a rare, genuine footage. What do you think? What we're looking at was captured by a fisherman out at sea near Oregon's Devil's Lake. According to his account, this strange creature emerged from the water without warning. It almost resembled a hippopotamus, but its body was far too thin and its shape was more serpentine than bulky. Witnesses describe it as having a long snout, a smooth appearance, and small beady eyes. Among all the reported water monster sightings, this one stands out as unique. It doesn't match the descriptions of any known lake creature or beast. If genuine, it could be the first sighting of its kind. So what do you think? Could this be a new undiscovered species, or simply another mystery that will vanish below the depths without anybody knowing what it was? China has unveiled new futuristic eye lenses, and they're unlike anything you have seen before. These aren't irregular prescription contacts. They double as night vision goggles, letting you see clearly in complete darkness. But here's the wild part. You can even see with your eyes closed. Imagine lying in bed, shutting your eyes, and still being able to look around the room. Even stranger, they let you read hidden messages that ordinary human eyes can never detect. The secret lies in the nanoparticles embedded in the lens. These particles are designed to extend your vision beyond the normal light spectrum, picking up details and wavelengths that are invisible to the naked eye. In other words, you're not just seeing more clearly, you're seeing a whole new layer of reality. And the price is about $200 for something that sounds like it belongs in a spy movie. Well, that's pretty surprisingly affordable. So, would you get some? A homeowner was reviewing the footage from their front door security camera when something unusual caught their attention. In one of the clips, there was a hazy figure standing on their porch. At first, it appeared to be a child. The image was slightly blurred, as if the figure had been moving at the exact moment the camera captured it. Concerned, the homeowner went around their neighborhood, showing the footage to their neighbors and asking if anyone's child was missing or if it had been outside during the night. But no one recognized the child. They decided to take the footage to the police, but after checking local reports, the officers confirmed there was no missing child in the area. Now, the homeowner is left with only two unsettling possibilities. Either this child was lost and somehow ran off and vanished before anyone could find them, or it was not a child at all, but something else entirely. Some believe the figure might have been a ghost, briefly manifesting on the porch before disappearing into the night. What do you think? In China, they've taken the phrase, "fake it till you make it," to a whole new level, and you won't believe how. Because of intense social pressure to land good jobs and appear financially successful, a strange new market has emerged, and it's the fake workplace. Here's how it works. Entire office buildings are rented out, and not for actual business, instead for people to pretend they're working. These places are fully equipped with desks, computers, printers, meeting rooms, and everything you'd expect in a real corporate environment, except actual work. People pay a daily fee, leaving their homes dressed for the office, and spend the day sitting in these staged workplaces. Some even play video games or scroll their phones while looking busy. To complete the illusion, the companies hand out fake ID badges, business cards, and even mock promotion certificates to make the whole charade look convincing. That's crazy. On August the 8th, 2025, residents of the Metepec Atlixco Pueblo in Mexico, by the way, sorry Mexican people if I got that wrong, reported seeing strange things in the night sky. Bright lights danced and flickered overhead, and no one could explain what they were. 3 days later, a resident shared something even stranger. While looking toward the mountains one quiet afternoon, she noticed something blinking amongst the trees. The lights seemed to be coming from deep within the forest. The object itself couldn't be seen, only the repeated flashes breaking through the leaves. Could this be the same UFO people had seen days earlier, now crashed or landed in the mountains, or was it something else entirely, still hiding in plain sight? This footage comes from Brazil, captured by a neighborhood security camera late one night. The streets were completely empty when something strange happened. Out of nowhere, a bright glowing light appeared in the middle of the street. Moments later, dark shadowy figures moved through the light. The odd thing is, the light didn't resemble a streetlight flare, headlight reflection, or anything you'd expect from ordinary city life. It looked unnatural. Some are speculating that this could have been a portal opening. Whatever it was, its sudden appearance and eerie nature has left many people unsettled. So what do you think? A woman who owns a rural horse ranch has been reporting a series of unsettling events on a property. The first incident happened when she was calling her horses in for the night. They were walking towards her, as usual, until they all froze in place. In the quiet, she captured a chilling sound that resembled a man crying or maybe laughing. It's hard to tell, but it was enough to stop every animal in its tracks. In another recording, she hears a strange scream coming from a structure on the land. She looks cautiously, but finds nothing there. The third piece of footage is perhaps the most disturbing. While alone, she hears the radio in a barn turn on by itself, and as she gets closer, the audio begins to glitch and distort. Then, without warning, the music cuts out and a deep male voice shouts, "Hey!" She spins around, but no one's there. She's convinced the ranch is haunted, though some skeptics believe it could be staged. Whatever the truth, the footage and audio are undeniably eerie. So what do you make of it?
What the f?
A man walked into a small roadside cemetery where earlier that day, a serious accident had occurred. A car had veered off the road and crashed into the cemetery with parts of the wreckage still there. As he approached the damaged vehicle, a sound broke the stillness. It was the unmistakable cry of a woman. It seemed to be coming from inside the car, but when he walked around it, there was no one there, and no sign of a woman at all. The footage is unsettling, but why didn't he open the car to check? Could the crying have been a trapped accident victim, or was it something else entirely? Some believe it was the ghost of someone who died in the crash. Others dismiss it as staged footage. What do you think?
Real lucky. Hello? You alright? You okay? What the hell? What the f is going on here? There ain't nobody there.
Here's a fact you might find surprising. Switzerland is said to be the only country in the world that has enough nuclear bunkers to shelter its entire population. Yes, you heard that right. Every Swiss citizen has access to a designated bunker space in case of a nuclear attack or other large-scale disaster. These shelters are not just relics from the Cold War, they're maintained, stocked, and ready to use if needed. Some are located beneath apartment buildings and schools, while others are deep underground in reinforced facilities. It's a level of preparedness that few other nations can match, and it shows just how seriously Switzerland takes the safety of its people. Good Lord Almighty, it's a pity our governments can't do the same for us, huh? For humans, almost anything could be turned into a game, no matter how strange it is, as long as there are enough people willing to compete, and now technology has taken that concept to a new level. They've rolled out what's being called the first ever high-tech toilet. This isn't your average bathroom fixture. It's designed to scan your feces as it drops into the bowl. Using sensors and advanced imaging, it records every detail, color, texture, shape, even microscopic elements you'd never think about. Then all that information is sent directly to your smartphone along with a quick health report and some medical suggestions. But watch people turn this into some sort of bizarre competition to see who can produce the biggest and longest turd in the world. We already have sperm races, what is left? We might see online forums and leaderboards sharing this new sport. Sorry. This health tool will become the Olympics of pooping. So, do you think this is possible? Sorry. This is one of the funniest, let's move on. As odd and unassuming as leeches may look, they're far stranger than most people realize. Beneath that soft, slimy exterior is a body with 10 separate stomachs, 32 tiny brains, and 9 pairs of testicles. And if that's not bizarre enough, their mouths are lined with hundreds of microscopic razor-sharp teeth that are perfectly designed to latch on and feed without you feeling it at first. Leeches have been around for over 100 million years, outlasting countless species, adapting to every environment from deep jungles to frozen lakes. Some can go months without feeding, waiting patiently until they sense the faintest hint of blood in the water. Such mysterious creatures. Oh well, now you know. China has been pushing hard in robotics and artificial intelligence, so it came as no surprise when it unveiled the world's first humanoid robot dealership. And yes, you heard that right, a dealership. Just like buying a car, customers can now walk into a showroom and browse different humanoid robot models, each with its own capabilities and features. These robots are designed to perform a wide range of tasks, from customer service and home assistance to industrial work and even entertainment. The dealership operates much like an auto showroom. There are demonstration areas where robots interact with visitors, sales representatives who explain their functions, and customization options so buyers can tailor a robot to their specific needs. It's a peek into a future where purchasing a robot could be as common as buying a vehicle. And it raises plenty of questions about how quickly AI and robotics are becoming part of everyday life. During a beautiful sunset drive, someone was filming the golden glow over the fields, capturing the warm horizon as the sun dipped low. Everything looked serene until the car passed something unusual. In the tall grass by the side of the road, a dark humanoid figure could be seen striding through the field. Its size was staggering, easily 7 feet tall or more. The long arms, broad shoulders, and purposeful gait gave it an unmistakable presence. For many, there is no doubt what this was: Bigfoot. The creature seemed to move effortlessly through the thick grass, completely unfazed by the passing vehicle. The sighting was brief, but it was enough to reignite the debate about whether this legendary cryptid is truly out there, roaming the wilderness. During a live TV interview in a quiet rural area, the camera happened to catch something completely unexpected. The man being interviewed was standing on a narrow dirt path, speaking calmly to the reporter, but behind him, something strange happened. Out of nowhere, a small dark figure darted across the path. It looked like a person, except it was far too short and its body was entirely black. Some viewers claimed it looked like it was wearing a hood or some kind of head covering. Others noted it seemed to walk on 2 legs, but the stride was so unusual that it didn't quite match a human gait. Paranormal enthusiasts quickly started speculating. A few suggested it could be a duende, others leaned toward the pombero. It's a mysterious nocturnal being from South American legends known for moving silently and vanishing into the air. Skeptics argued it was just a child or a passerby whose features were blurred by the motion, but that's very unlikely. What do you think it was? A dog owner recently shared a strange piece of security footage from her living room. She'd stepped out for a moment to grab something, leaving her dog alone. The TV was turned off, and on its black screen, the camera picked up a clear reflection of the dog lounging in the room. But then, something odd happened. In the reflection, something unseen was interacting with the dog. The animal suddenly became restless, and then, to the owner's shock, its collar somehow slipped completely off. According to her, the collar is snug and cannot just fall off even if the dog shakes its head. She swears there's no way it could have come off without someone physically unclipping it. The dog even seemed to react to something in the room as if aware of a presence. Skeptics have their own theory. Some think it could have been something as simple as a loose collar that worked its way off, or maybe even just a bug buzzing around making the dog twitch at the right moment. Still, for those who've experienced unexplained events with pets, the footage feels like more than a coincidence. So was it just bad luck and a loose collar, or did this dog have a brief encounter with something we can't see? Parents, we need to be extremely vigilant about what our children are engaging with their devices. We all know the game Roblox. It's wildly popular, especially amongst kids, though some adults play it too, but it's mostly children. Now, to the shock of many, Roblox's CEO has announced plans to add a dating simulator feature to the platform. That's right. A game predominantly played by minors is preparing to include dating elements. Why would a children's gaming space need that? The CEO insists there will be strict measures in place to ensure kids are kept out of it. But how many times have we seen these so-called safeguards fail over the years? Age gates can be bypassed, filters can glitch, and bad actors can always find loopholes. The internet is already full of risks for young users. Do we really need to add yet another one inside a game they already love and trust? Parents, please pay attention. Talk to your kids. Check their settings and monitor what they're doing online. This might be one of the situations where better safe than sorry could make all the difference. This footage was shared by a group of friends who were driving past an abandoned building in Georgia. It's of the Hawkins Lab. Fans of Stranger Things will recognize the name, but in real life the building is empty and carries an unsettling energy. As they slowed down to look at it, something caught their attention. One of the heavy doors suddenly creaked open just slightly, then closed again on its own. Moments later, it swung open a second time, even wider. According to them, there was no wind that could have caused it. They kept filming from the safety of their car, panning the camera upward toward the top of the building. And that's when they noticed this dark figure standing near the rooftop watching them. It seemed to shift slightly, almost as if it knew it was being seen. The friends were convinced that something haunted that facility, but what could it be? Is it a spirit tied to the building, or something else entirely?
Did you see it? She didn't. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look, it's opening again.
Wait, get on video, get on video.
Somebody record this.
I am.
This is paranormal experience.
What the fuck? There's no one either. Like you guys can't be. Like,
It's opening. It's opening. It's opening. No, fuck that.
No, it's opening fast.
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
Oh my
That's the
God.
widest it's opened.
That fast too.
That's crazy.
I need to know the history of this place.
Is that a person?
Yeah, we're gonna save ourselves. Don't worry.
What is that?
What is what?
Do you see that?
Oh,
Look at my
there's
phone.
definitely something moving inside. No, I see it.
What is that?
I see
Is
it.
that a person?
Is that a person?
Why does that looks like a person? I'm looking at JC's phone. It looks like a
Yeah,
fucking
it looks like a
person in there.
person.
AI just keeps doing things that blow our minds. A company called Fable has managed to train an AI model that can actually create a brand new episode of the animated show South Park. They fed the AI hundreds of characters from the series along with countless other elements, and in the end, the system produced its own customized South Park episode from scratch. Think about that for a second. If you watch a movie or an animation and you're not happy with how things turned out, you could simply change it to fit your own narrative. Characters could say what you want, go where you want, and the story could take whatever twist you imagine. It's an incredible step forward, but also a little unsettling when you realize the creative control it puts in the hands of anyone with the right tools. What do you make of this? To our knowledge, no person, spacecraft, or object can get close to the sun without being completely destroyed by its intense heat and radiation. That's why a set of images released by NASA years ago caused such a stir. In these 2014 images, a strange object can be seen near the sun's surface. It appears to have a tubular tentacle-like structure extending directly toward the sun, as if making contact with it. Some observers believe it looks like the object is siphoning energy from the star itself. NASA never confirmed the object's identity, and theories quickly spread. Skeptics suggested it could be a camera glitch or a natural solar phenomenon, but UFO enthusiasts were convinced it was some kind of massive extraterrestrial craft that is capable of withstanding the unimaginable conditions near the sun. If it's true, this wouldn't just be one of the closest UFO sightings to our star, it would also hint at technology far beyond anything we've ever imagined. A rider cruising through a wooded path was met with a curious sight, a peculiar figure standing on the ground mere inches tall. Clocking in at about a foot in height, this tiny being stood motionless on the road. The rider, struck by an unusual encounter, entertains the notion that it could be a jinn, a concept rooting in Islamic beliefs as mischievous spirits. Yet upon closer inspection, the creature appears to be more plant-like, nestled on the side of the path. The juxtaposition of its small stature against the forest backdrop raises questions about its true nature. Is it a mere botanical oddity, or could it harbor a supernatural and malevolent entity? I guess we'll never know. In a refreshing contrast to the unsettling, our next footage takes us into the mystique of the woods, where a trail camera captured an extraordinary scene. Late at night, an ethereal being, radiant with illumination, gracefully glided through the surroundings. Its shape defied conventional definition, a formless glow moving with an otherworldly elegance. Speculation arose amongst skeptics, suggesting that this radiant entity might be an angel. The way it glowed and moved fueled the imagination, inspiring thoughts of celestial beings gracing the depths of the woods. Is this truly a celestial visitation, a play of light, or perhaps a trick of the lens? Share your thoughts with me.
Good morning, guys. It is literally 5 a.m. and I opened the back door to put some dry food out for the stray kitties, and there are people feet printed all over my deck in the snow. Okay, I'm gonna open this. I'm not going out there. Do you see this? They start over there, and it like barefoot walks up to the table. There's nothing coming up to the... Maybe there is some coming up to the door. What? And I don't see any in the yard.
Next, we've got this clip from a woman who shared a strange and eerie encounter she's been experiencing at her home. She lives near the woods, and every once in a while, stray cats come to her doorstep, so she feeds them. One night, she woke up to the stray cats crying outside. Concerned, she went out to put some food out for them. That's when she noticed something unsettling. On her deck, where there was a thin layer of snow, there were prints, human footprints, lots of them. It looked like a group of people had come to stand there. The footprints led from the woods and then back into the woods. The footprints were human-sized, about the same size as her own feet. Not knowing what to make of it, she went back in and slept. The next day, she shared the footage online. A commenter asked her to contact the police, but she said she already did that, and they said since there was no break, there was not much they could do. A few nights later, she noticed the footprints again. They came from the woods and returned to the woods just like before. It's snowing out and very late at night. Who would be walking barefoot in the snow, and why were they always visiting her house? People online had all sorts of theories. Some suggested it might be a group of pranksters trying to spook her. Others thought it could be something more supernatural, a ghostly visitation, or even a mysterious group of people living in the woods. Whatever the case, we don't have answers, but she seems to be doing well. She even joked with one of the commenters on her page. It's our prayer that her life isn't in any danger and that she's as safe as she believes.
Do you see this? They start over there. And it like barefoot walks up to the table. There's nothing coming up to the... Maybe there is some coming up to the door.
A man by the name of Erwin Saunders claims to have captured pixies in the forest. Let's take a look at the clip he posted to support his claim.
He's been trying to hurl these across to his accomplice on the other side. And if I just move the camera across, you'll be able to see just there. He's gesturing back to him and saying, "Come on, throw another one."
In the clip, we see small humanoid creatures with green skin, bald heads, and pointy ears on the sides of their heads. Both were on rocks that were a bit apart from each other. One had these wooden contraptions on its back and had gathered some sort of fruits on it, while the other was making hand motions as if asking for some of the fruits to be thrown to it. It's very fascinating to watch and looks very real. Pixies are often depicted in folklore as playful and mischievous creatures, usually associated with nature and woodland areas. The details in Erwin's footage, from the appearance of the creatures to their behavior, looks very convincing. However, in this age of advanced technology and digital effects, it's essential to approach such extraordinary claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. On the other hand, the world is full of unexplained phenomena, and there's always the possibility that there are things out there that we have yet to discover. What are your thoughts on this?
There, he's gesturing back to him and saying, "Come on, throw another one."
Delving into the realm of UFO sightings, a notable piece of footage emerged in 2013, which is now going viral due to the various alien conspiracy theories. Passenger aboard an aircraft captured an intriguing formation of lights. These mysterious lights were arranged to create a triangle pattern, which brings to mind nothing but UFOs. Initially, the lights remained stationary, casting a glow across the sky. However, when they eventually started to move, the coordination was so precise that it suggested a single unified craft. The catch? Human-made aircraft don't typically fit the bill for this triangular formation. Left with no conventional explanation, the footage fuels speculation that what was captured in those skies might just be a UFO, an unidentified flying object, potentially of extraterrestrial origin. Venturing out to capture the serene beauty of mountain greenery, a man found himself unexpectedly turning his lens towards the unknown. Behind a rocky outcrop, a creature reminiscent of the elusive Bigfoot made a brisk appearance, striding across the open field. The one who shared the footage online claimed it was his personal encounter with a Bigfoot. Critically looking at the footage, however, this Bigfoot looks too human. Its body isn't that big, and its movement is more human than creature. Its muscle makeup and all others make it look like it's nothing more than a human in a costume. Personally, I see no Bigfoot. What about you? During a lightning storm, someone captured something incredible in the sky, a shadowy figure that looks like a giant. Take a look.
Oh, holy fucking shit, guys.
The figure, cloaked in a robe and holding a stick, appeared and disappeared as quickly as the lightning struck. It looks like a scene straight out of a myth or fairy tale came to life for just a moment. We all know the story of Jack and the Beanstalk with its giant living in the clouds. Could it be the giants still exist, but in a form we don't yet understand? Perhaps they live in another dimension or realm only visible to us under specific conditions like this lightning strike. That would be cool, and I'm getting excited just thinking about it. But then again, we live in a world of AI, deepfakes, and clever editing. Could this be someone making fun of the paranormal community? Let us know what you think.
Oh, holy fucking shit, guys.
We started this clip with one unusual Facebook Live video.
That's my backyard. Put in a little piece. This is the exact spot that I just
This young lad was home when he realized strange and unusual things were happening. It felt like there was someone home with him, but that shouldn't have been the case because he was home alone. He called out a number of times asking if anyone was there, but there was no response. Freaked out, he went live on his social media page and started telling everyone what was happening. It was at this moment that whatever it was that was moving around his property decided to sneak across his yard. Unfortunately for the being, and fortunately for him, his camera was facing in the direction the being moved, and he was able to capture a few seconds of footage. That's what you see on your screen. The big question now is, what is that? The simple answer, no one knows. He suspects it's some unknown cryptid, and judging by its size and movement, I'm tempted to agree with the hypothesis. It seems like whatever it is, it didn't want to be seen and didn't want any trouble. Once his friends saw what he saw, they rushed to his home to see if they could find it, but they couldn't. They chose to upload this to find answers, and the paranormal community was divided about it. Some saw a demon, others a cryptid, and a small sect, an otherworldly creature. The strangest answer was from this user. He believed it was an ostrich. There were also some who thought the whole thing had to be fake or CGI. Given the quality of the clip, it's hard to tell without a professional's input, and our video editor is away with Julius on a mission we can't tell you about yet. So I'm gonna fall back on you for this one. What do you guys think is happening here? Do you think this is real or not? Let us know in the comments section.
That's the exact motherfucking spot now. That's my backyard. I'm gonna zoom it in a little piece. This is the exact spot that I just
In a mysterious turn of events, a security camera recorded the eerie presence of two entities floating on the street. These spectral figures with a ghostly, smoky appearance move in a way you would only expect otherworldly beings to move in. Once I saw the footage, especially in the quality in which it came, I wanted to believe this was nothing more than a fake. That was at least until these local dogs in the neighborhood showed up. Their reaction to the floating object made me believe it could actually be real. But if it's real, what were those things? Why were they there? And how were they able to move like that? What would you do if you found a bear right outside your tent? You know what? Hold that thought. Watch this. What was meant to be a peaceful camping retreat turned into a wild encounter with nature gone wrong. A man seeking to enjoy his time in the great outdoors set up camp in a serene spot. The night passed without incident, but the next morning came with an unexpected twist. As he unzips his tent, expecting the usual sight of trees and sunlight, he's met with a furrier neighbor than anticipated, a bear standing just inches away. In a split second, he retreats into the safety of his tent, zipping it up tight. It seems, however, that the furry intruder wasn't ready to end the conversation. The bear starts growling and scratching at the tent, evidently curious about the new camper in the neighborhood. Faced with a bear trying to turn his tent into an impromptu bear cave, the camper resorts to a bold move, yelling. Miraculously, the tactic works, and the bear, perhaps startled by the unexpected noise, decides to abandon the chat. Luck was certainly on the hiker's side that day. Lesson learned. Sometimes surviving a camping trip means not just communing with nature, but also convincing it to keep a respectful distance. A group of friends were out for drinks when they noticed one friend getting a bit too drunk. Amused by her laughter, they decided to film her antics for some later laughs. Little did they know things were about to take a chilling turn. As they captured her laughter on camera, the woman suddenly froze, sending a wave of concern through her friends. They called out to her, but she remained unresponsive for a while until she eventually snapped out of it. You can see how confused she was when she came back. Her friends later asked her what had happened, and she was shy about behaving that way, and her response would shock you. She said she felt like she was possessed. However, some netizens believe that this is a typical situation of a glitch in the Matrix. Some skeptics, on the other hand, say it was a neurological episode. It's quite a bizarre and unsettling moment, leaving everyone involved shaken by the unexpected and eerie incident. If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. Take a look at this girl. She has a lot of piercings in her mouth and braces. Her mouth almost looks like metal. How does she even eat? Just look at how the bands and contraptions look in her mouth. Doesn't it look scary? Are there plausible explanations? Do any of you know what's going on? Please do share. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want me to send a dragon after you now, would you? In the depths of the unknown, where shadows linger and mysteries unfold, we kick off today's episode with a spine-chilling encounter. A man seeking solace in a park under the night sky stumbled upon a peculiar entity. Across the road, beneath the shadow of a tree, a mysterious creature was seen crawling toward him. The camera struggled to focus, but the creature's unsettling silhouette could still be seen, and it suggested an otherworldly being on the move. Due to the blurry nature of the footage, however, it's hard to say what exactly we're dealing with. A part of me wants to believe it's truly a skinwalker, but then again, we can't see much. What do you think? This is a dinosaur that was found frozen in ice. They thawed the ice, thinking it might be dead. But no, it jumped out and started going about its life like it would have 1,000,000 years ago. I'm just messing with you, that's not true. Behold the majestic shoebill stork, a bird so impressive that at first glance it might seem like a creature out of a fantasy realm. But rest assured, this is no mythical creation. It's the real deal. The shoebill, native to central tropical Africa, is recognized for its distinctive shoe-shaped bill reaching lengths of over 9 inches. These large birds, standing 4 to 5 feet tall, are primarily piscivorous and adept at catching fish in marshy waters. Solitary by nature, they exhibit a patient hunting style, standing motionless for extended periods. Classified as vulnerable, shoebills face threats from habitat loss and hunting. They're known to live up to 35 years in the wild. The shoebill stork is a living testament to the wonders of the avian world. With a bill that looks like it could have been borrowed from a dinosaur, this magnificent bird stands as a testament to the incredible diversity found in the animal kingdom. Here's a peculiar tale from the animal shelter. So this person strolls in, all set to adopt a furry friend. Normal, right? But hold on, because what they found wasn't your typical doggy pal. Look at this little guy. First glance, he's all cute and cuddly, your usual shelter pup. But there's something off about that face. It's got a certain peculiar twist that makes you wonder, is that a skinwalker in doggy disguise? Now, we're not saying this pup has supernatural secrets, but hey, it does make you do a double take. Who knows, maybe it's just a quirky dog with an unconventional charm. Venturing into a swamp under the cloak of night can be an eerie experience, and one brave soul decides to explore the murky unknown. Little did they anticipate what would unfold in the darkness. Out of nowhere, something emerged from the muddy waters. It was a humanoid creature. The creature wobbled as it got out of the mud with its back turned to the explorer filming. The once brave adventurer hightailed it out of there when it noticed the creature emerging from the water. Not so brave now, after all, huh? But what was that in the mud? Could it be a swamp monster or a skinwalker hiding out in the muddy waters? Skeptics think that it's all a hoax, but these days, you may never know. Reports of strange creatures roaming the world have been circulating, and the latest sighting may just be the most spine-chilling one yet. An explorer driven by curiosity stumbled upon an abandoned opening in the woods during the night. Armed with a camera, he decided to document what lurked within. And the footage he captured was enough to make his blood run cold. In the dim light, a bizarre creature was discovered concealed in a ditch, its dark hair protruding eerily. As the explorer approached, the creature, like a phantom, crept closer, revealing a face that would haunt your nightmares. The creature possessed a human-like face, its wet, black hair clinging to its features, yet the remainder of its body defies description. Bony and withered arms, a contorted form, and an unsettling gait. While some speculate it might be a skinwalker, others argue it's nothing more than a CGI creation. What do you think sounds more probable? Let's bask in the warmth of a heartwarming encounter. A couple driving after a snowstorm stumbled upon a deer struggling on the slippery, icy ground. The poor creature found itself in a loop of slipping and falling, unable to find solid footing. Moved by compassion, the kind-hearted couple stepped out of the car, the lady displaying an admirable act of empathy, approaching the deer and with gentle determination grasped its front limbs. In a truly wholesome moment, she skillfully pulled the deer from the treacherous ice to a safer place. In the midst of mysterious encounters and spine-tingling moments, it's heartening to witness the beauty of human kindness intersecting with the natural world. No, that spider isn't moonwalking, but it is walking on water. It looks like something out of a fairy tale, except it's not. This here is a type of tarantula that has tiny hairs on its leg that allow it to avoid breaking surface tension. In simpler terms, this quality allows it to walk on water without sinking. The sight is mesmerizing and a bit eerie. After all, there's a tarantula defying the laws of nature. The tiny hairs, known as setae, are what enable this remarkable feat. The combination of the spider's black body with the striking white spots on its legs makes it look almost otherworldly as it moves effortlessly across the water's surface. But rest assured, nothing alien or paranormal happening here. It's just science. If any of you come across any of these spiders, share your experience. Now take a look at another wonder that was captured by a group of hikers. They stumbled upon this massive rock structure, but guess what? They discovered that this rock wasn't just a solid mass. It had compartments with doors that could be opened, leading into a tunnel. Being the logical beings they are, they didn't dare venture inside. Around the world, there are numerous secret facilities, many constructed during wartime for people to hide out. Interestingly, in some of these facilities, strange and suspicious things have been found that don't quite fit the narrative of being mere wartime hideouts for soldiers. Considering this stone structure in the middle of nowhere, what could have been done there? Was it an ancient facility of some sort, or perhaps the lair of an intelligent being? Some think that it's how Bigfoot hides from us. Sounds ludicrous, I know, but we still need an explanation, so share your thoughts. Technology, our modern ally in capturing the extraordinary, recently played a crucial role in unveiling our next clip, which is nothing short of a dramatic scene. Picture this: a person navigating their drone camera through the snowy aftermath of a heavy snowstorm in the woods when suddenly the lens catches a man in frantic escape. What's chasing him? None other than a colossal bear. As the drone approaches for a closer look, the bear, mid-pursuit, takes notice of the flying intruder. In a moment of shared recognition, the bear turns to acknowledge the airborne spectator before resuming its chase. The fate of the man remains uncertain, but it is our hope that he managed to outrun the bear and find safety. Next, we have a security camera that recently captured an intriguing yet eerie scene. The footage reveals a dog standing on the balcony, attentively observing the surroundings. Suddenly, a pair of mysterious legs clad in black pants dashes across the frame. Strangely, instead of reacting with alarm, the dog wags its tail seemingly unfazed and tracks the movement of the legs. This raises an interesting question. Could this be a hoax? Typically, animals are known to be sensitive to paranormal activity, and one might expect the dog to bark or exhibit signs of distress. However, the dog's seemingly nonchalant response prompts skepticism. One possible explanation could be that the legs belong to a spirit or entity familiar to the dog. Now that I say it out loud, it sounds like a stretch, but what do you think about the whole thing? Moving on, what do we have here? An 8-foot-long centipede-like creature? How is this even possible? The paranormal community has been buzzing with this video and people are divided on what it really is. Some are calling it a cryptid, while others are convinced it's edited footage, one made from clever CGI or special effects. Looking at it, I'm tempted to join the AI gang on this. Before Julius went on his trip, he saw this clip and told me there were no creatures like this. I did my research and found nothing too. Our in-house video editor also stated that this was more 3D than it was realistic. Looking at it again, I get where they're coming from, and I believe this is definitely not real. Despite this assertion, there are some who are unable to tell if it's real or not. Some have even advocated that it be killed. The only reason they will do that is if they believed it was real. This has left me wondering, am I thinking it isn't real because the two skeptics on my team convinced me that it was not, or is that really the case? Share your opinion. Do you think it's real? Or do you side with us in believing this is nothing but CGI? Speaking of thoughts, what are yours on divine intervention? Because the story I'm about to tell you might just blow your mind. The title of the world's luckiest man goes to Frane Selleck. For those unfamiliar with the name, Frane Selleck is a music teacher from Croatia whose life has been characterized by unbelievable escapes and near-death experiences that seem almost too incredible to be real. His story is a roller coaster of extraordinary events that have left many wondering if divine intervention played a role in his remarkable survival. In 1962, Frane was on a train that derailed and plunged into an icy river. 17 passengers drowned, but Frane managed to swim to safety with only a broken arm and hypothermia. The following year, during his first and only plane flight, the doors suddenly blew off and he was sucked out of the aircraft. Incredibly, he landed in a haystack and survived with minor injuries while the plane crashed, killing 19 people on board. But it didn't stop there. Over the years, Frane's life was dotted with more miraculous escapes. A bus crashed into a river, a car fire that engulfed his vehicle in flames, being hit by a city bus, and another car crash that saw his vehicle explode after he just managed to escape. In 1995, while driving on a mountain road, his car collided with a truck, causing his car to burst into flames. Miraculously, he managed to escape without any serious injuries. 2 years later, he narrowly avoided another fatal accident when he was struck by a bus in Zagreb, walking away with minor injuries once again. The most astounding part of Frane's story came in 2003 when he won the lottery, pocketing nearly $1 million. After all those years of close calls with death, it seemed the universe finally decided to reward him. What do you think? Does Frane's story make you believe in the possibility of divine intervention, or do you think it's all just a series of incredible coincidences? Do you think trees can secretly talk like the toys in Toy Story? Well, the next individuals we're featuring seem to think so, even if jovially. The footage starts off with two friends leisurely walking through the woods. After introducing themselves, they introduce us to an unusual sight. There, on a tree, is a face. Not the kind of face like patterns you sometimes see on a tree, but an actual face protruding from the bark. It has what looks like eyes, a unique nose, and an open mouth. The remarkable part? It doesn't appear man-made. The features seem to naturally emerge from the tree's bark. While the two friends jest and tease, you have to wonder, is this just a quirk of nature, a tree with an unusual growth, or could there be a more mystical explanation, like a possessed tree? In a tale that highlights the untamed instincts of the wild, a man raised a coyote as an unconventional pet and decided to take it den digging one day. Once in its natural habitat, however, something changed. The creature, perhaps stirred by the call of the wild, seemed to forget its domesticated life and, to the surprise of its owner, turned less receptive, playfully.
Oh, hey little coyote. Ow! Come here. Can we be friends? Can we? Ouch!
A man plays along and even puts his hands in the mouth of the coyote. If that doesn't scream trust and cute, I don't know what would. We got a snapshot sent in by a subscriber from Greenwich, Connecticut. It's a close-up of a flower they stumbled upon in their neighborhood. Now take a look at this beauty. Vibrant petals, intricate details. It's a slice of nature right there. Makes you appreciate the little wonders you can find just around the corner. Any thought on what type of flower this might be? It looks like a burst of color in their everyday surroundings. If you love black cats, I'm certain this security footage will have you thinking twice about them. Follow the black cat closely. It appears from the other side of the road and walks nonchalantly. People are walking by, but no one seems to pay attention to it. It passes through the space in the rails and walks to the corner of the building where there is what looks like rubbish on the ground. The cat lingers by the rubbish until suddenly the debris catches fire, seemingly by some mystical force. Without any apparent concern, the feline then nonchalantly walks away, leaving behind the mysterious incident. Did this cat just magically set things ablaze? Some cultures think black cats are evil. While I have never understood and accepted that way of thinking, clips like this make me think that perhaps I might be wrong. What do you think? Recently, Ryan Garcia has been sharing his views on various government conspiracies. In this footage, he makes a video while hospitalized with tubes up his nose. Take a look.
Come on now, the rapture is coming. Jesus is coming back. The aliens, they already have Project Blue Beam. Project Blue Beam is the fact that aliens are being slowly put out, okay? Project Blue Beam is this. Why do you think they slowly started putting out aliens since Roswell? Because you can't handle the truth right away. It would have caused a great mass delusion or whatever, right? Just everybody would be chaotic. So they do it slowly, and it's for a reason, because it says in the Bible that there'll be a great delusion cast out on earth. What do you think that great delusion is? And you guys can pull up the verses.
In the video, Garcia discusses how the talk of aliens is propaganda designed to deceive us when the rapture happens. He claims that aliens are not otherworldly beings, but demons in disguise. Garcia's perspective is certainly provocative and has sparked a lot of debate. His stance is that these so-called extraterrestrial encounters are part of a larger deception to distract humanity from spiritual truths. Given his background as a professional boxer, it's intriguing to see him delve into such controversial topics. It's worth noting that Garcia's outspoken views have cost him his standing in the boxing community, adding another layer to the discussion. What do you think on his take on these matters?
What do you think they're going to get tricked by? They're going to get tricked by that it was an alien abduction. Understand, this is happening in real time. You guys need to wake up. Who's involved? The people, the principalities, the powers that be, the ones that are setting it up, the ones that are releasing the footage. Listen to what I'm saying. It's happening. I told you guys about the rules of satanic worship. It needs to be in front of your face. Why do you think they put the stuff on Simpsons? Why do you think all the things are right in front of your face, but nobody is paying attention? They're like, there's no way that could be true.
我拍了视频。
If you've been watching our channel for the past few weeks, then you're aware of the fact that strange cloud formations have been spotted all around the world, and eerily, they look so similar to each other, even though each clip comes from a different place and time. One popular variation is clouds that are ring-shaped, with smoke like dust swirling around them. Many people believe these formations are cloaked UFOs, while others suggest they might be portals. On the other hand, skeptics argue that they're just natural cloud formations and nothing more. The striking similarity between these sightings raises questions. How can these clouds appearing in such different locations look almost identical? Could there be a connection, or is it just a coincidence? Are they a sign of something more, or just nature playing tricks on us? Julius scoffs anytime we bring this up, but Aaron insists there's something going on. But what do you guys think?
我拍了视频。
Religion is often seen as a counterattack against evil forces. At least, that's what many religious people believe. They practice rituals like praying, attending Mass, and reading sacred texts such as the Bible or the Quran, believing these acts protect them from dark entities.
El Señor esté con ustedes y con tu espíritu.
Back in 2022, something truly chilling happened in Chihuahua, Mexico that got people talking.
El Señor esté con ustedes y con tu espíritu.
During a Mass, while a priest was reading from the Bible, a loud, echoing scream pierced the air. It sounded like a man's voice desperately crying out for help. The eerie sound was so disturbing that they could see the priest and everyone on the podium turn to look back, visibly shaken. The video doesn't show where the scream came from, but it left the congregation and viewers online deeply unsettled. Some people believe it might have been a sign of a tormented soul or even a dark entity reacting to the holy reading.
El Señor esté con ustedes y con tu espíritu.
Kritz was in Japan with her family on a night out. They were just taking a stroll, she, her husband, and their 2 sons. The boys were standing by a sakura tree while their father filmed them when suddenly he noticed something strange in the video. On one of the boy's legs, there was a pale hand gripping him from behind. The boy didn't seem to feel anything, didn't move, didn't see it, but his father did. Panicked, he rushed over, but by the time he got there, the hand had vanished. He looked around the tree, but there was nothing in sight. When Dark Secrets posted the video, the comments section blew up with theories. One commenter said it might be an ashwang, but traditionally, ashwangs are floating heads and aren't known to have hands. Another commenter suggested it was a duende, a type of mischievous spirit. Others speculated that it could be an entity from the tree, something attaching itself to the boy. Japan is famous for its haunting folklore and eerie encounters, so could that be the case here? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. This footage was taken at a yard sale. A woman came across a stand with various items like wooden ladles, mirrors, and other knickknacks. But what stood out was the doll sitting on the table. Take a close look at it. Do you see that? The doll is moving its head ever so slowly. You might almost miss it. It's subtle, but undeniably eerie. We don't know if the doll is designed to move with a hidden mechanism or battery, but given its haunting appearance, the woman didn't stick around to find out. She captured the unsettling scene on her phone and quickly moved on. Yard sales are full of unique and sometimes creepy items, but this one takes the cake. Dolls already have a reputation for being a bit spooky, but one that moves on its own, that's a whole different level of creepy. Now tell me, would you buy this for your child, or would you leave it at the yard sale where it belongs? Before we dive into the next clip, I have a quick question. What's the best time of day to go hiking? Because, honestly, I've seen one too many scenarios where people decide to hike in the woods at night, and it almost always ends up with something creepy or downright terrifying. Take this footage, for example. A man was hiking deep in the woods around sundown when things took a turn. As he moved through the trees, he suddenly noticed something ahead, a dark, hulking figure that seemed to pop its head out from behind a tree and just stared at him. The moment he saw it, instinct kicked in and he bolted out of there. Some believe it was a Bigfoot lurking in the shadows, while skeptics suggest it might just have been a person playing a creepy prank. But whatever it was, encountering it at that time of day in such an isolated place is enough to make anyone rethink their hiking plans. So what do you think? Is there a right time to hike, or does the thrill of the unknown make those twilight hikes worth the risk? Next, we've got today's bonus segment. Before I show you what I've got for you today, though, I wanted to give a shout out to some of you who did well with our last bonus question. The best answer for me came from Karen Edmondson 462. We look forward to more responses from you. Now for today's bonus segment. Do you think this is a real dog? If it is, let us know the specific species it is and an interesting fact about it, like at Karen Edmondson 462. I can't wait to read your responses. We often hear about muscle memory, where living things repeat actions they've done for a long time almost instinctively. But did you know there's also something called the shape memory effect? This phenomenon typically occurs in materials like nickel-titanium alloys, and it's absolutely fascinating to watch. Just look at this. A piece of shapeless metal is placed on a surface, and suddenly it begins to wiggle and twist. It transforms into the shape of a paperclip. It's not magic, it's science. Next, you have a small spring that's been stretched out. It also immediately shrinks back into a tightly coiled spring. These materials have something similar to a memory. When heated, they remember their original form and return to it, no matter how much they've been deformed. This happens because of their unique molecular structure, which allows them to revert to their predetermined shape when exposed to the right conditions. Incredible, isn't it? I saw some comments underneath the original post that had me first laughing and then thinking, I know it's not related, but it would be great if we could do this, wouldn't it? I'm going to need a scientific explanation for this next one. In the clip, a girl turns on the tap in the kitchen sink, and as the water flows, she places an egg under the running water, leaves it there, and it just floats. How is this even possible? Normally, an egg would sink to the bottom of the sink due to its density. However, in this footage, the egg remains suspended in the stream of water, seemingly defying gravity. One possible explanation is that the force of the water creates a balance with the weight of the egg, allowing it to float. The continuous flow of water may be generating enough upward force to counteract the egg's natural tendency to sink. It's safe to say I'm no Julius because I do not know what I'm saying. What do you think is happening here? Could it really be a simple physics trick, or is there something more at play here? This video was taken from a security camera set up in the living room of a house. The homeowner was just casually reviewing the footage when he noticed something odd. Take a look at it. Did you see that? There on the left side of the table, a ghostly figure just walked by. It's so transparent that if you didn't look closely, you might have missed it. Now, what's intriguing is that the homeowner mentioned he'd never experienced any paranormal activity in his house, even after discovering this footage. So what could this be? Was it just an entity casually strolling through the house? I mean, they say that entities are all around us, we just can't see them. Could this be one of those moments where the veil between our world and theirs briefly lifted? It's eerie to think about the possibility of spirits or entities moving about, unnoticed in our daily lives. What do you make of this? While surfing on the ocean, a surfer came across these strange creatures in the water. They were different in the water. What could these be? While some lean toward a mundane interpretation, attributing them to mere debris adrift in the sea, others with a discerning eye draw parallels to the intricate patterns of a South American sea nettle. South American sea nettles are a species of jellyfish found in the waters of the South Atlantic Ocean, particularly off the coast of South America. They're known for their distinctive bell shape and long trailing tentacles which can deliver a sting. What do you think? Jellyfish, debris, or something else? While walking through the woods, someone came across a strange tiny creature lying on the floor. Not knowing what it was, they took a picture and shared it online. Now check it out for yourself. It looks like a seed germinating, but here's the interesting part. It has what seems like a big head and a small face, and you can even make out what looks like a body with tiny arms and legs. Quite the curious creature, wouldn't you agree? Some of my team members argue that the creature looks like an extraterrestrial due to its alien-like appearance. What do you think, though? Could this truly be a resident from another world? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. I know it's been a while, but thought before we move on to the next clip, I'd give you a short quiz in our bonus session. What I'm about to show you is something only a few have seen. If you know what it is, then you are no average person. Do you know what this is? Have you seen it before? Can you share one unique characteristic about it? If you can, then the comments section is all yours. Educate and wow us. Give Julius a run for his money. Pause the clip and tell us all you know. I can't wait to receive your comments. This beautiful cloud in the sky looks like a stairway. Now, this has been a phenomenon that has been sighted all around the world. It's quite mesmerizing to see, but it also has everyone asking, is this literally a stairway to heaven, a glimpse into the divine, or is it just some weather phenomenon? These cloud formations, often referred to as ladder clouds or staircase clouds, captivate our imaginations with their seemingly perfect steps ascending into the sky. While many find spiritual or mystical significance in these formations, meteorologists have explanations rooted in atmospheric science. Such formations can occur due to specific wind patterns and moisture levels, causing clouds to align in a visually striking manner. So what do you think? Is this a good enough explanation, or do you think there is more? A man sees a strange beam of light coming from the sky as he is driving. The beam is this vibrant shade of green, and even the point in the sky where it originates is bathed in that mysterious glow. What could this be? Some ponder if it's a clandestine government experiment hidden away from prying eyes. Others go full sci-fi, speculating about an alien base camp, maybe for some intergalactic chat sessions. The secrecy surrounding the sighting location only fuels the flames of suspicion. Is it a deliberate effort to conceal the truth, or perhaps a precautionary measure to prevent undue panic? What do you think this is, though? Share your theories and thoughts in the comments section. Do you believe in mermaids? Depending on your answer, I'd say today is your lucky day. Check out this footage from a beach where something unusual was spotted on a rock in the middle of the ocean. The creature had an unmistakable fishtail, but as it moved, a human-like upper torso with long black hair and arms became apparent. The mysterious being then dove into the water, leaving behind a trail of questions. Could that have been a real mermaid, or was it just a hoax? There are various depictions of these fishy creatures, and some fossils of creatures suspected to be them exist. However, there has not been an official declaration that these creatures do exist. Despite that, there are new sightings almost every day somewhere on the planet. Having seen the footage, what do you think it might be? This strange-looking fish was captured by a group of fishermen in Mexico, and it's got everyone scratching their heads. At first glance, it looks like a very flattened frog with an odd, almost comical appearance. But this peculiar creature is actually known as an Odococephalus, commonly referred to as a batfish. The Odococephalus belongs to a group of fish that are bizarre as they are fascinating. With their flattened bodies and limb-like fins, they resemble a mix between a frog and a fish. These creatures usually dwell in the deep sea, where their unusual features help them navigate the ocean floor. Instead of swimming like most fish, they use their fins to walk along the bottom, hunting for prey in the dark depths. Have you ever seen a fish like this before? A man was walking by these lush green plants when he noticed something unusual. There was movement beneath the foliage. It seemed there was a mass hidden under the plants, but it wasn't just static. Something really big was moving beneath the surface. The way the plants shifted and rustled indicated that whatever was underneath had significant size and strength. Could it be a large animal, a hidden mechanism, or something else entirely? The sheer mystery of the situation is enough to pique anyone's curiosity and concern. Just before the clip ends, however, we see something foggy around the area the greens are rustling. What do you think it could be? Scientists have allegedly discovered a 2-billion-year-old nuclear reactor in Africa. Alongside this discovery, they found that uranium has already been extracted from the site. This remarkable discovery has stunned the scientific community. Could ancient civilizations really be much smarter than we give them credit for? There are some who seem to think so, like this member of our paranormal community. The reactor, located in MacLeod, Gabon, is believed to have functioned for about 500,000 years. It might have operated through a natural chain reaction using water as a neutron moderator, much like our modern nuclear reactors. Dr. Seaborg, a Nobel Prize-winning chemist who helped discover plutonium, stated that the conditions and the setup of the MacLeod reactor suggest a level of sophistication that seems beyond what we previously believed ancient humans could achieve. Is there a chance we're just repeating their lives and possibly making the same mistakes they made that made these technologies disappear from our history books? A part of me thinks so, but what are your thoughts? In this next footage, a man is seen bent over a river, waving his hand in the water as a large creature approaches from below. I don't know if this is a death wish or what, but it looks like a giant crocodile to me. If it's a crocodile, the man's bravery or recklessness is astonishing. Crocodiles are powerful predators, and getting this close to one is incredibly risky. On the other hand, if it's just a large fish, the situation takes on a completely different tone. Perhaps the man is aware of what's really in the water and is just interacting with a curious but harmless aquatic creature. It's hard to say, but what do you think is happening here? A hiker was out in the foggy woods when he started to feel uneasy, so he took out his phone and began to record his surroundings. That is when he found this. There in the fog was a tall, dark figure. As he moved further and looked around, the figure seemed to be everywhere. He didn't know if it was the same figure appearing repeatedly or if there were multiple figures, but it seemed these strange figures were following him. Imagine the fear and confusion in such a situation, being surrounded by mysterious figures in the fog, unsure if it's a trick of the light or something more sinister. The eerie presence and the feeling of being watched would send chills down anyone's spine. What could these figures be? Are they shadows or something supernatural? Back to the subject of portals, someone captured this strange sight while on a plane. We're not exactly told where the person was headed, but it was uploaded as real footage and it's got the paranormal community scratching their heads. Looking at the clip, it looks like some translucent circular contraption. The individual who uploaded it insists it's an interdimensional portal, even though we see nothing coming in nor going out through it. A number of individuals who saw the original post stated they believed it was true. Others also expressed skepticism and gave sarcastic comments teasing the USA for being the country to experience a number of these incidents. Now you guys see the clip. What do you also think about it? Take a look at this. A man cuts out the EMV chip, the golden box on a credit card, and inserts it into the SIM card slot of his phone. Incredibly, it connects to a network. What kind of hack is this, and how is it even possible? EMV chips are designed for secure transactions, holding encrypted data that's only supposed to work with payment terminals. But here we see it behaving like a SIM card connecting to a mobile network. There's absolutely no way this is real. We say plants are living things. They can eat, grow, and die. However, they're not as mobile as animals and humans. Their roots plant them firmly in the soil, so walking plants are not a thing, or so I thought until I came across this footage. Someone noticed that the tree in his backyard just uprooted itself from the soil and left. Just look at this. There are no strings or machines around pulling it out. In the subsequent clips, we see a farmer attending to his small plants in a bed when out of nowhere the plants just dashed off. They remind me of the Ents from J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth ancient tree-like beings that can walk and talk. Could there be a basis in reality for such fantastical creatures? If these sightings are genuine, they could signify an entirely new aspect of plant life that we have yet to understand. Imagine the implications for ecology and biology if certain plants could move to new locations. Okay, maybe I shouldn't get ahead of myself. The clips could very well be fake. What do you guys think, though? This clip supposedly comes from the depths of the Indian Ocean, showing what appears to be an underwater creature gliding through the water. I'd describe its shape, but honestly I can't. It keeps shifting and morphing in ways no known deep-sea creature does. Either my research is way off, or we're looking at something completely foreign to our waters. The person who shared the footage believes it's alien, and most people who've seen it seem to agree. But here's the real question. If it's alien, what's it doing here? Oh, and one more thing. The original video had this eerie cricket sound mixed with wind in the background, which makes some viewers suspect it was AI-generated and fake. I would have my editor play the sound for a short while. Well, now that you've listened, what do you guys think?
Place has been abandoned for like 3 months.
Oh my god, yes. Okay. Let's go.
Next, we got a brave soul visiting a church that's been abandoned for reasons unknown. They stated that it's been 3 months since anyone was there, and they wanted to see what the inside looked like. They brought a camera along. Talking about filming the evidence of your own crime. Anyway, they get inside and things look normal for the most part. That's until they enter one room and state it smells bad. It would take them too long to find the source of the smell, though. A few meters into that room, they find maggots on the floor leading somewhere. They follow the trail of maggots and it leads them to a dollhouse where they hear faint whispers and the door shuts on its own. Understandably, they get spooked and bolt out of the place, but why the maggot trail and the bad smell? I don't know about you, this doesn't sit well with me. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. This footage, captured by a trail camera, presents an intriguing sight. The video begins innocuously, showing deer standing and grazing peacefully. However, the seemingly tranquil scene takes a mysterious turn as something unusual appears in the background. There, amidst the trees, a large dark figure can be seen moving. Its gait is distinctly bipedal, walking on 2 legs. The figure's outline suggests a broad, muscular build, and the edges of its form reveal what looks like a thick, hairy covering. Could this be a sighting of the legendary Bigfoot? The size, posture, and movement of the figure certainly align with descriptions from countless reports over the years. What do you think? Still on strange sightings, take a look at this clip from the MacLeod YouTube channel as far back as 2009. It was supposed to be a night like any other, with the family hanging out and listening to music. This profound moment was interrupted by a creature seemingly out of nowhere. It definitely looks paranormal, but the low-quality footage makes it difficult to determine which of the known entities it fits into. You've seen the clip. Where would you put this creature? Also, what would you have been the reaction of seeing something like this behind you? We've all heard the story of the crew that made it to space, and Neil Armstrong being the first man to walk on the moon. But watch what happened when someone approached Neil years later and asked him to swear on the Bible that he walked on the moon, and what happened next.
Mr. Armstrong, Bart Sibrel, ABC Digital. Wanted to give you the opportunity to swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon. Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
Mr. Sibrel?
Yes? If you really walked on the moon, why would you not do that? So why don't you just put the end to the record in the argument and put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon.
Mr. Sibrel, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
Really? Well, no, it's a real Bible.
He refused to do it. On several instances, Neil refused to swear that he walked on the moon, the very moon that was televised for the whole world to see. He was even offered $5,000 to swear and still didn't. There's always been a strong conspiracy that the moon landing was faked, and refusing to admit something the world knows you have done, well, that's kind of suspicious. What could he possibly be hiding or even afraid of?
You have the opportunity to have $5,000.
The meeting is not open.
Well, you have $5,000 cash. You can give it to charity if you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon. I have the tape.
It'll be fine.
Why don't you swear to... Why not? Why won't you do it? So why don't you put your hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
Mr. Sibrel isn't going to fool of himself in front of the world. Mr. Sibrel, you do not deserve answers. Hold it. Allahu Ekber! Allahu Ekber! Aço! Ordusun kaç! Ordusun çağırıyor. Yat! Aço! Abi niye yat? Kalk, adam orada tepede. Abi dur!
A group of men were working in the Sile forest when they decided to film their surroundings. But as they scanned the dense trees, their cameras captured something unsettling. A towering, furry figure standing on two legs, staring down at them. Panic took over. The men shouted in fear and bolted to their car, desperate to escape. But as they sped off, their terror only grew. The creature was already ahead of them on the road, chasing after their vehicle. The footage abruptly cuts off, leaving us to wonder what happened next. From the brief, shaky video, the figure bears a striking resemblance to a Sasquatch, but skeptics are quick to dismiss it as a hoax, especially since the clip conveniently goes out of focus at key moments. Others, however, believe this could be something far more sinister, perhaps a skinwalker or even an ifrit. I have my doubts about this one, but what do you think? A genuine encounter or well-crafted scare?
Geri. Ya! Geri kulağımsın bana. Nereye gidiyorsun? Nereye döneceğim? Yok, kafayı böyle ver. Abi nereye vereceğim? Bir dakika. Kafayı böyle ver. Geri kaçalım. Tamam. Geliyor mu? Geliyor.
In 2019, a groundbreaking medical achievement took place in South Africa, led by pastor and professor Mashudu Shifularo. Professor Shifularo successfully cured deafness in a 35-year-old patient using pioneering technology. Employing 3D printing, he recreated the intricate structures of the inner ear. By precisely replicating and replacing the damaged parts, he restored the patient's hearing, marking a world first in medical history. Professor Shifularo's work not only brought attention to the possibilities of modern medical innovation, but also underscored the immense value of integrating advanced technology into healthcare. This image was taken on December the 13th during a family gathering in the yard one night. One person was responsible for taking photos and had snapped a couple throughout the evening. After dinner, the family sat down to review the pictures, and that's when they noticed something strange. In one of the photographs, there appeared to be extra guests that no one had seen or noticed during the gathering. The figures resembled 2 or 3 people standing faintly in the background. What's even more unsettling is that they appear to only have one picture, not in others taken moments before and after. The family was shocked and scared by this discovery. Some wondered if these figures could be the spirits of past family members watching over them, or perhaps something else entirely. Not sure what to think of this one, but some attribute the whole thing to pareidolia. Anyway, your thoughts are welcome on this. Still on things that could potentially be fake, take a good look at this alleged paranormal encounter. What do you think it is? We've watched this clip several times and can't seem to agree on what it might be. It appears to have tentacles or arms and is rolling in the sand. The cat keeps its eyes on it, which convinces us that this has to be real. That was at least until Julius asked us to pay attention to the eyes of the cat. It was at this point we realized that the cat's stare wasn't in sync with the thing's position. Sure, it looked in the same direction, but Julius felt like this was just clever editing. You've seen the clip, so what do you think? This footage was taken by a man who visited a factory that allegedly makes the so-called McDonald's chicken we've been eating. This is a huge machine used to chemically separate the chicken. As he pans the camera, we see a pile of white stuff. This is what they use for the chicken products at McDonald's. But what in the world is this? We can't say for sure, but there was a research study done by Rabbi Finkelstein, and it was found that the burger samples had human DNA in them, as well as deer and random animals. This is mostly from fast food joints that we buy from all the time. And it's known fact that xenomix is found in them. Do you know what xenomix is? It's derived from aborted fetuses and is put into food to make it taste good. Disgusting, I know. We obviously have no way of verifying this, but if it's true, just what have we been eating all this time?
Chemically separated chicken. Now watch this. This is chicken nuggets. And chicken sandwiches and man. That's what they make that with.
This clip comes all the way from Guatemala. Pay attention. Do you see it? Sure, there's a white mist or cloud-like entity or being moving in the clip, but did you notice its form before it became a mist? If you didn't, allow me to point out the obvious. It had a humanoid form. But how do we go from a humanoid form to a misty and cloudy form? The answer is simple. It's a shapeshifter. I know this sounds like a long stretch, but how else do we explain what we're seeing? This was meant to be a rhetorical question, but Julius answered anyway. Guess what he said? It's CGI and fake, but then again, it's Julius. He says these things all the time. Anyway, let me know in the comments section what you guys also think. So this clip is allegedly from NASA's live stream. Do you notice anything weird? Anything at all? This was supposed to be a clip from the International Space Station, yet there seems to be some sort of spacecraft flying by it. To put it in perspective, that's not normal. It shouldn't be happening, yet it is. The only explanation for this would be a UFO or spacecraft, both of which will point to aliens and extraterrestrials. But NASA would have told us if something like that was out there, right? Well, many don't think so. Some individuals don't even think the clip is real. They believe this is underwater with divers and a light. They think the rest of what we see from the supposed space station is just filters and effects from a clip being recorded in a pool. You've seen these clips with your own two eyes, so what do you think?
That's crazy. Good eye.
This particular clip was captured on the 28th of February 2025 in West Virginia by a man called Chris Manhattan. He was out with a lady friend when they noticed these odd lights in the sky. Initially, they didn't think much of it, but as time went on, they realized that the lights were moving in different formations, almost as though they were transmitting a message. The odd behavior prompted them to start recording. They suspected it might either be UFOs or maybe some sophisticated drone technology. Unable to decide what exactly it was they were dealing with, they uploaded it online seeking answers. Several individuals who saw the post shared similar experiences. One person even claimed that on that same night, he had the highest number of UFO sightings he'd ever witnessed, reporting over 20 crafts hovering above his apartment. He noted that every time they appeared, his lights would flicker or shut off completely. Additionally, he described hearing a loud noise that shook his apartment just before spotting what seemed to be like a drone or a plane observing the crafts and orbs. According to him, these sightings had been occurring since early December. It's a wild testimony, but one that we can't verify. If this is true, then it's serious. Is there anyone from West Virginia here? Can you confirm if this is true, or if you've had any strange experiences? You can mail them to us at classifiedcaptures@gmail.com if you don't want to put your business out there.
Oh, whoa. What is that?
It's like that Tic Tac from Rogan, bro.
What was that?
The thing that, like the UFO thing, like flying all over the place.
Anyone who's been on this channel long enough should find this clip familiar. It looks like one we've shown in the past, only this time the lights or orbs were red and they didn't come from one single orb. Now, obviously, this isn't human technology, and the general consensus on the one we shared in the past was that it was alien. Looking at this, I can't help but feel the exact same way about it. The clip was captured by several individuals who were out at night. That gives a level of authenticity to this particular clip. Some in the paranormal community have stated that this is all the evidence they needed to believe aliens were really out there. You've seen the clip as well, so what do you also think?
Hey, look at it from my phone, bro. Look at it from my angle. I see that. Oh, no.
Speaking of strange occurrences, have you ever wondered what the devil looks like? No? Well, take a look at this clip coming from Mexico.
¡No mames, güey! ¡Dios mío, güey! ¿Qué es esto, güey? ¡Trae cuernos, güey! ¡Trae cuernos, güey! ¿Qué trae cuernos, güey? ¡Es Lucifer, güey! ¡Es el diablo!
Ah, cabrona.
According to the one who uploaded it, the townspeople heard someone screaming and rushed to the location. Once they got there, this was what they were met with. Just by seeing its appearance, they concluded that they had seen the devil. Naturally, they started shouting and screaming. Some started addressing it as the devil and even started to rebuke it. Intrigued by the whole experience, they uploaded it online to share what had happened to them. While we do love the paranormal and everything in it, seeing this just didn't click. It felt more like we were dealing with a man in a costume than a paranormal entity. Maybe that's just me. Well, you've seen the clip, so you tell me what you think.
¡No mames, güey! ¡Dios mío, güey! ¿Qué es esto, güey? ¡Trae cuernos, güey! ¡Trae cuernos, güey! ¿Qué trae cuernos, güey? ¡Es Lucifer, güey! ¡Es el diablo!
Ah, cabrona.
Speaking of dramatic, if you thought that was dramatic, then it's definitely because you haven't seen this bit of clip. Take a look.
Hopefully we didn't like part 2. What is
Who is
that? Michelle,
What?
Go.
What the hell?
It's right there. It's literally yelling.
Come inside. Over here. Jesus. Who is that?
This footage was recorded by a group of friends exploring an abandoned place ominously known as the Undead Village. They were filming their adventure when, out of nowhere, the man you see on your screen charged toward them. He chased them for quite some time until they managed to take cover in an abandoned area. This clip cuts off shortly after, but the assumption is that they got out safely. While I appreciate the thrill of exploring area locations, it's always a good idea to carry some safety gear. That said, not everyone's convinced this is real. Some viewers think the whole scene might have been staged for views. So what's your take? Do you believe this was an authentic encounter, or do you think it was all just a clever setup? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
I don't know.
Come on. Yo.
Keep going. Go, go, go.
Go.
The woods can be scary, but imagine you're traveling alone, and then you come across something like this on the only patch available. What's the first thing that would go through your mind? I don't know about you, but personally, it would be that I've encountered a demon. That must be how the individual filming felt, because he first pauses, and when the thing starts moving, he runs away in the opposite direction. Fortunately for us, he was recording his jogging session through the woods, and that's how we can have the footage. Unfortunately for him, he's got proof, so no one will laugh at him or call him crazy. Let's go back a few steps though. Take a good look at the thing on the ground. What do you think that is? In the beginning, it looks human, but as the clip progresses, it becomes evident that it's not. Some think it might be a wild animal, but it doesn't look like any wild animal I know. The conclusion, therefore, is that it's an otherworldly being. Some in the paranormal community even point out that there are shadow beings hidden in the trees, but I've tried so hard and couldn't see anything. There are also some who are skeptical and think the whole thing is a hoax. But you've seen the clips, so what do you think's going on here? Here we have another strange cloud, but this time it's not the cloud itself that's unusual. It's what's on the cloud. When you look closely, there's a round-shaped object. It looks whitish and incredibly smooth, almost like a polished surface. It appears to be hiding within the clouds, but you can clearly see its edges peeking out. This footage has sent shockwaves through the paranormal community. Most people are saying the same thing. It's a cloaked UFO hiding behind the clouds. Just look. It's incredibly obvious. And looking at the position of the sun, it brings it out even more. Is this a UFO? Remember when we shared the clips about people's radios picking up strange frequencies that felt like someone was trying to communicate with them? Well, we've got another one, but this time it's through the television. This woman's time from behind her telly was suddenly interrupted by strange sounds coming from it. And when I say strange, I mean strange. Listen. Hear that? Once more, her television kept telling her that her streaming service was getting interrupted. She adds that she's had her service interrupted in the past, but it never sounded like this. This made her feel someone or something was trying to make contact with her through her television. Once she uploaded the clip, everyone shared the exact same sentiment, but you gotta wonder who or what is responsible. Many in the paranormal community have concluded it's aliens, and I do get where they're coming from, especially with all these crazy things happening around us. I saw some comments like this under the original post, and so I did, and when I did, it sounded something like this. It really does sound like someone's communicating, right? What could they be saying, and are they really talking to us? While a majority of the paranormal community believes they're talking to us, there are some who believe they're talking to themselves. Should we be worried? Are we blowing things out of proportion? Please share your thoughts on this. Here are two fascinating clips showcasing a rare and peculiar bird found in the woods. This unique creature has a long beak, no visible wings, and is covered in soft fur-like feathers. It moves on 2 feet, and as you watch the footage, you'll notice its curious manner of running. It dashes off like a person sneaking away after being caught stealing. This unusual and fascinating bird is called a kiwi, native to New Zealand. Its quirky appearance and behavior making one of the most distinct birds in the world. Kiwis are flightless and nocturnal, relying on their keen sense of smell and their long beaks to forage for food in the ground. What makes this clip interesting? Well, these birds are endangered and hadn't been seen where this clip was recorded in a long time. Think of it as a rare find, and think of this clip as advocacy for their preservation. Nothing paranormal here, but let's do our best to preserve our planet because it's the only one we got until NASA discovers another one, of course. A man was at the river when he noticed all these black fish swimming by. He took out his phone to film them, and then this happened. Another fish came swimming by, and this one had orange color. The black fish immediately swam to it, wrapped itself around the orange fish, and the orange fish became still. Then the black fish unwrapped itself and swam off. This fish effortlessly killed another within seconds and swam away. But what could it be? Some sort of deadly killer fish in our waters that we don't know about? If you know anything about this fish, please educate us in the comments section. How many days are in February? Well, what about when it's a leap year? If you said 28 and 29 respectively, well, of course you're right. Now, look at this tombstone. It says 30th of February 1847. Not sure what the story is behind this tombstone, but it's got many in the community talking. The most prominent thing people are saying is that this is from an alternate universe. The assumption is that this came from a glitch in the Matrix, and many seem to have subscribed to it. But is that really the case? Is there a universe out there with 30 days in February, or is this person simply pranking us? I guess we'll never really know. This clip comes from the aftermath of Hurricane Helena, which hit southeastern United States in late September 2024. A woman who lived in one of the areas affected decided to take a walk in her neighborhood. This is when she noticed the foul stench coming from some of the debris. She gets closer to the area that seems to smell like something's rotting. That's when she sees what looks like a memorial with flowers on it. That's heartbreaking, but definitely not strange. That's not to say nothing strange happened, because some seconds in, a voice comes from the rubble. She misses it and is driven away from the place by the smell. In fact, she vomits. Playing the clip back later, the voice is noticed. This leaves us with questions, lots of questions. Whose voice was that? Was it from the makeshift grave? Did it come from a man seeking help, not knowing he'd already died? Bizarre, I know, but with the numerous reports of death in the area, it shouldn't be too surprising, should it? In different parts of the world, beliefs, rituals, and taboos often carry an air of mystery for outsiders. Now take a moment to check out this intriguing footage. man is seen standing at a doorway, his back turned to the camera. However, as the camera pans upwards, it becomes apparent that he has no head. Moments later, a woman approaches him from inside the room carrying a large bowl of an unknown substance. She begins to apply it to his chest and downward in deliberate strokes, all while letting out eerie wailing sounds. In some Asian cultures, there are tales of headless people who return home. These headless beings are deceased individuals who come back to their homes primarily to seek closure before moving on to the next world. Since we have no context for this footage, we aren't sure if it depicts a similar situation. What do you think is happening here? When this clip was sent to me, the sender asked me to brace myself. I expected something disturbingly creepy. When it arrived, however, it was this. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's still creepy, but in the end, it looks like a fish with a human-like face and a small body. I had to make sure this was real, which plunged me into a little research. Turns out these things really do exist, and they're called sunfish. It turns out that sunfish, or mola mola, is one of the heaviest bony fish in the world, often weighing over 2,000 kilograms or 4,400 pounds. Known for its strange, flattened, and almost head-like body, the sunfish has small pectoral fins and long dorsal and anal fins, which it uses to propel itself through the water in an almost clumsy-looking manner. Despite its massive size, it primarily feeds on jellyfish, requiring large quantities to sustain itself. Sunfish are found in warm and temperate oceans worldwide, often basking near the surface, giving them their name. Though they appear slow and harmless, they can produce over 300 million eggs in a single spawning event, making them one of the most fertile fish species in the ocean. 300? Nice. Imagine what the child support would be like if the papa fish were irresponsible. While you share your thoughts on that, I have another one that requires your attention. Many in the community have called this particular footage a glitch. Why? Well, pay attention to the leaf. How did it get in there without getting pierced in the sides? Pay attention. You'll realize it's only been pierced in the middle. That shouldn't be possible, right? That's made many conclude that this is a glitch in the Matrix. Maybe there's someone who can explain this. If there is, please do. Otherwise, we may be tempted to call this a glitch in the Matrix.
I keep hearing, knocking at my door. I look out the window. There's nothing. See what I mean?
Moving on, a man shared a chilling experience after receiving a package from a friend who was deeply involved in spiritual practices. The package contained a large box with 5 eerie-looking dolls, each seemingly handcrafted from clay and resembling voodoo-like figures. Shortly after the package arrived, strange and unsettling events began to occur in his home. He started hearing persistent knocking on his door. Each time he checked outside, no one was there. The knocking continued relentlessly, even when he looked through the window and saw nothing. Things escalated when his dog began barking uncontrollably as if scenting something unforeseen. To uncover the source of the disturbances, the man set up a camera to monitor the dolls. However, the camera mysteriously toppled over. Given how securely it had been placed, he couldn't explain how it could have fallen on its own. These events led him to suspect that the dolls might carry some sort of energy or entity. Given how odd these things look, I won't be surprised if there's something weird going on. What do you think he should do with them, though?
I keep hearing, knocking at my door. I look out the window. There's nothing. See what I mean?
A nurse at a hospital had just lost her patient. When she was walking up to the room to make the necessary preparations, she noticed something unsettling. This dark figure is standing at the doorway. It wasn't just a shadow. The nurse froze in place and managed to take this image and shared it online. Some who've seen the image speculate it could be the angel of death coming to guide the soul away. Others think it might be the lingering spirit of the patient themselves, unwilling or unable to leave just yet. Whatever it was, the nurse says the sight sent chills through her. Even now, she can't shake the feeling that she wasn't just imagining things. For it being in a hospital, this is likely real, but what entity could we be looking at here? And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. My name's Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Share this with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.